All right, let's get into it. Did you know Aaron Norris is the action mastermind behind a ton of those iconic Chuck Norris moments? The guy went from uncredited stunt dude in the 70s to full-on director and executive producer. That's a glow-up with a roundhouse kick. Emma here, and I am totally pumped to dive into some epic action cinema stories today. Grab your metaphorical black belt in a helmet because, stunts. So, let's talk Aaron Norris. Born in the early 50s, younger brother to Chuck Norris, the martial arts icon. Aaron starts in the trenches in the 70s doing stunts, then levels up to fight choreographer, stunt coordinator, producer, and director. Think of him as the behind-the-scenes architect who figured out where every punch lands and how every explosion looks hot but safe. By the 90s, he's shaping a whole TV universe with Walker, Texas Ranger. That's not just a job, that's a legacy play.
Okay, personal tea time. The other weekend, I'm at this martial arts exhibition after an action movie binge, and I'm feeling myself. They've got this demo zone with a soft breakaway panel. Not glass, honey, foam, but it looks cinematic. I'm thinking about Aaron's infamous windshield kick from Good Guys Wear Black in the late 70s. That flying sidekick through a moving car's windshield, the stunt that literally sold the movie. Iconic.
So I line up. I hear a little inner trailer voice, Emma versus foam. I run and jump, and midair my brain goes, hey, maybe don't. I clip the panel with my ankle, spin and land like a human coat hanger. Audience gasps, my dignity leaves the chat. The instructor, this sweet patient saint, says stunt people practice that for weeks. Receipts received. Lesson learned. Practice and prep are everything. Aaron's whole career is proof. You don't mail the big flashy moment without a million safe reps and a boss-level coordinator calling the shots. All right, let's unwrap this. Aaron starts as a stunt performer in the 70s. Quick ELI 5, a stunt double does the dangerous move so the star doesn't crack a rib. A stunt coordinator is the project manager of danger who designs the GAD, keeps it safe, and makes it look epic. A fight choreographer maps out the punches like a dance. Aaron did all of that and then some. By the late 70s, he's working with his brother Chuck on films like A Force of One, where Aaron acted, shared fight choreography, and coordinated stunts, multitasking king. Good Guys Wear Black gave us that windshield kick, and The Octagon around 1980 had him handling karate fight choreography while popping up on screen. Directors to know here: Ted Post, who steered Good Guys Wear Black, John Carpenter, who brought Aaron in as stunt coordinator on his Elvis TV film starring Kurt Russell, and Steve Carver, action director on Lone Wolf McQuade. Each of these filmmakers saw Aaron not just as a stunt worker, but as a creative partner who could elevate a scene. Then the switch up. In the late 80s, Aaron moves into the big chair as a director. Braddock, Missing in Action 3, platoon leader with Michael Dudikoff, who was an 80s action staple from American Ninja, and into the 90s, he's helming Delta Force 2 and The Hitman with Chuck plus sidekicks, which blended martial arts with a family-friendly vibe. He even did Top Dog, an action comedy, and later Forest Warrior with eco-hero energy. The range is kind of wild, gritty to goofy, and it works because he always respects the action grammar, setup, clarity, payoff. And then TV, Walker, Texas Ranger in the 90s through the early 2000s. If you missed it, Walker is the Texas lawman saga starring Chuck. Aaron came in as executive producer, wrote and directed some episodes, and basically helped lock in that case of the week plus moral compass formula audiences devoured. He even spun it off with Sins of Thunder. That's brand building, universe building before shared universes were a buzzword. Receipts for reach. In 1998, there's Logan's War, Bound by Honor, a CBS TV movie Aaron executive produced and helped with the story. It ranked third in weekly viewership. That is not niche, that is primetime flex. And in 2010, Texas Governor Rick Perry named Aaron and Chuck honorary Texas Rangers. The culture and the state literally saluted them back. Oh, and the man never left the mat. He kept doing stunts into the 2010s, including utility stunts, the Swiss Army knife of stunt work, like on Marvel's Ant-Man in 2010, starring Paul Rudd. That's a through line from 70s karate flicks to modern superhero mayhem, and I love that for him. Also, little spicy trivia. Some listings for The Cutter in the mid-2000s credit Aaron's acting character name as Tony Malum. Tony Malum is actually a British film director in real life, so either Aaron did the wildest method acting as a different filmmaker or the credits got messy. I'm voting clerical chaos, big yikes, but also kind of hilarious. Okay, pause, because this next part is everything. The Walker Texas Ranger numbers. How many episodes was Aaron an executive producer on? Sources do not agree. Some counts say around 120, others float higher. I lean higher for one simple reason. Producer credits can get fuzzy with seasons, production blocks, and syndication edits. TV math is chaos. If you've ever tried to count reality show episodes with two-parters and clip shows, you know the pain. Bottom line, his hands were clearly on the steering wheel for years. So whether the spreadsheet says 120-something or a higher count, the creative footprint is obviously massive. Another quirk, if you see Hellbound labeled 1993 or 1994, that's usually a production versus release date thing, not a scandal, just the film world being, the film world. Calendars are more like suggestions there.
Now, socially and culturally, here's why Aaron matters. When you choreograph a stunt that becomes the poster in people's heads, that windshield kick, you're not just doing physical risk, you're manufacturing memory. That's marketing. That's myth-making. By translating that craft into directing and showrunning on Walker, he took the energy of 80s action and taught television how to do it week in, week out. Then he bridges to the modern wave by getting his hands dirty on Ant-Man, a living handshake between eras. And yes, I'm obsessed with that connective tissue.
And let's not skip his pivot to network leadership. In 2009, he became president of development and production at ALN, formerly the American Life Network. Translation, instead of steering one show, he's steering a slate. That's curating what even gets made. The difference between being the chef on one dish and running the entire kitchen. High-key power move. If I were Aaron, directing my own brother, ensuring every kick reads crisp, every fall sells. Oh my god, thrilling and nerve-wracking. Family dinner becomes a dailies review, but the receipts are there, the projects slap. He even stepped out front as a lead actor in Overkill in the mid-90s, which is like saying, I don't just cook and run the restaurant, I'll jump on the line and plate it for you live. Confidence. Earned. Okay, let's move on. Next time, I'm itching to spotlight the unsung heroes of movie stunts, the coordinators and riggers whose names you don't know but whose work you literally feel in your bones when a chase scene makes you hold your breath. We have to talk about them. All right, what's next? Oh right, sign off. We covered a lot today, from 70s windshield kicks to primetime Texas justice to the MCU. Aaron Norris is proof that the person shaping the punch can also shape the story. Until next time, keep life a little bit action forward, be safe, be bold. Later.